Hey guys, Joe here, flying solo today because I want to talk about Infamous Second Son for the PlayStation 4. Now, this is a very recent game, releasing in March 2014, and it was one of the flagship games to help usher in Sony's new hardware. I only played a few hours of the first Infamous game and have never even touched the sequel, but the story of Second Son, which, confusingly enough, is actually the third game in the series, is still pretty easy to follow without playing the previous games, as long as you take a quick glance at Wikipedia or something. You play as Delsin Rowe, a young rapscallion who learns he is a conduit, or a person with superpowers, with the ability to absorb the power of any other conduit he touches. He learns all of this at exactly the wrong time. A prison truck transporting 3 other conduits crashes in the Akomish Native American reservation he lives in, and in a horrible case of wrong place, wrong time, he earns the ire of Brooke Augustine, a conduit who heads a department of the government bent on capturing all of her kind. She uses her powers over concrete to injure Delsin's tribe before fleeing to Seattle, and it's up to Delsin and his brother Reggie to track her down so Delsin can use her power to help his people. The story, while a little corny, is actually pretty engaging due in large part to the amazing facial capture used on the game's voice actors. They actually lent their faces as well as their voices to the game, so Delsin looks exactly like Troy Baker. It's super impressive seeing real people in all of the story scenes, and it makes the character interactions that much more believable. And the characters are just awesome. Delsin and Reggie's interactions are great, Augustine makes you seethe every time she's on screen, and my voice actress crush Laura Bailey plays Fetch Walker, who recently starred in her own standalone DLC. The game inherits the morality system from the previous Infamous games, allowing you to choose good or evil actions and earn karma points. Which path you choose not only affects the story, but also the kinds of upgrades you get to your powers. It's a good idea in theory, but since so much of the game is neutral cutscenes, the evil path winds up feeling really forced and unnatural. And the powers are the coolest part of the game. You'll wind up with 4 powers: smoke, neon, video, and concrete, and although they all have similar functions in a lot of ways, they add a ton of variety to how you approach combat. They all bring something unique to the table without each one having a steep learning curve, which allows you to hit the ground running whenever you get a new power. You can switch between them at will, too, by draining them from the appropriate source while zipping around Seattle. The ability to swap powers on the fly adds a ton of versatility to the game, as all you need to do is drain the power from an appropriate source, like a chimney or neon sign. Not only does it let you approach combat and traversal however you want, but it also looks really cool and plays a sound effect through the controller speaker. I've never been to Seattle, but the Seattle in the game seems accurate to me. It rains a lot, and the Space Needle is there, which is kinda all I really know about the place. I don't play a lot of open world games, but what I liked about the Seattle in the game is that getting around is so easy with your powers that it makes the entire city feel like your playground. I'm sure there are other open world games that feel more alive or whatever, but I liked how Seattle never felt like an obstacle. There's a ton to see, and although the side missions do get a little bit repetitive, there's a lot scattered around to keep things interesting. Of course, since Second Son was used to help sell the PS4 to the masses, it's a dang fine looking game. As I said before, the character models are fantastic, but the draw distance is super impressive, and the game's particle effects, especially when using the neon powers, are pure eye candy. I rarely, if ever, replay modern games, and as soon as I finished Second Son with the good ending, I immediately jumped back in to see the evil path just because I wanted to keep playing. I have the Platinum Trophy, so I've literally done everything in the game, but even just popping it back in to capture this footage, I felt the strong urge to just play right through the entire thing all over again. It's not a terribly long game, but I loved literally every second of it. The combat is fun, the story's engaging, it looks fantastic, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. Infamous Second Son is a game you must play. Hey guys, since I'm on my own today and Norm is gonna get all the sweet ad revenue from my hard work, why not click on the top video and see what I'm up to over on my channel? To check out our last episode, click on the bottom video there. And for a full list of games we've talked about, please visit our website at gamesyoumustplay.com. No scores, no crap, just good games.